Welcome to Trust Your Inner Sense with Joanne Starkman podcast. I'm Joanne Starkman, and I look forward to going on this collaborative journey with you to ignite inspiration, inspire self-discovery, and instill new meaning in life. I'm excited to host a wonderful array of guests, including innovators, creatives, expert coaches, teachers, and much, much more who come together to share their stories. Each episode reveals how they've embraced their inner sense to pursue their passions and shine their unique lights in the world. We'll have thought-provoking discussions and chat about tools that will provide fresh perspectives to help you create a joyful and meaningful life. As founder and chief visionary officer of award-winning hair care brand Inner Sense Organic Beauty, I am also an avid meditator, platform artist, author, and mother of a special needs young adult. Over 20 years ago, I intentionally brought mindfulness to morning routines by authoring each affirmation on Inner Sense Organic Beauty's products, which we call Innerflections. You can check them out on the back of the bottle. It's my goal to have this podcast to be your warm and compassionate companion, whether you're on a journey for deeper meaning, seeking greater joy, or in need of love and healing. Let's continue our journey of self-discovery, self-care, and self-love. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive into this week's Trust Your Inner Sense episode now. Welcome, friends. I'm super excited for this episode. This is a very special episode of the Trust Your Inner Sense podcast. This one, I was invited to bring my show on the road. So Vagaro, who you'll hear more about, is an online booking platform for the beauty industry, and they had their Iconic event 2025. And I was able to record live there at this event over a beautiful weekend in the Napa Valley. And in this episode, I had the very special privilege to sit down with some of the most inspiring voices in the beauty industry, each with a story that reflects resilience, creativity, and the courage to follow a vision. In this particular episode, you'll hear from Candace Mitchell Harris, founder of Myavana, who is redefining the future of hair through science and technology and self-love. And then Paul Joseph Marzioli, legendary hairstylist and one of the founding directors of Toni and Guy. And he takes us back to the roots of modern hairdressing and the artistry that shaped a whole era. Finally, then, Shay, who is the powerhouse behind Boss Up Braiding Studio. She shares her journey of passion and persistence as a global educator, salon owner, and community leader. These three visionaries took their passion for hair and turned it into something much greater than themselves. Movements that empower, uplift, and inspire. This compilation is a celebration of the heart of the beauty industry, and I can't wait for you to join me in these conversations. So let's go. So this conversation is long overdue. This is an amazing woman that I first met at Texture versus Race. I've been wanting to have her on my podcast, and it just so happened that we were both up at Iconic 2025. So we got to sit down. Today, I'm honored to welcome Candace Mitchell Harris, visionary founder of Myavana, a groundbreaking company that has been redefining the future of hair care. From the spark of inception to the successful launch, Candace has built Myavana as a true labor of love, bridging beauty, science, and technology. Her mission is both personal and universal to empower women to better understand and embrace their hair. Through the power of AI and personalized hair analysis, Myavana has created a revolutionary way to explore our unique textures and learn what products and practices will help us truly love our hair. At its core, Myavana isn't just about technology, it's about self-love. By combining innovation and cultural wisdom, Candice is helping women everywhere move beyond frustration and confusion to a place of confidence, clarity, and joy in their hair journey. I can't wait for you to meet Candace Mitchell. Welcome, dear friends. I'm Joanne Starkman. Thanks for joining in to the Trust Your Inner Sense podcast. We are still here at Vagaro Iconic 2025 here in Napa, California. I am so thrilled for this next guest because this is somebody that I've been wanting to connect with for the longest time. I have quite a few emails that I need to respond to. Like we've been commiserating on the speed of life right now,
seriously.
right? There's just
That's
we're on the fast track.
Yeah.
So, well, Candace Mitchell, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. She is the founder of Myavana, an AI-powered hair analysis platform that helps people discover and personalized insights about their unique hair. Yes. And you really talk about empowering women, and especially women of color, to embrace their natural textures through innovation and self-knowledge. So welcome so much thank you so much for being here. Yes, and I just want you to start at the beginning. Can you share your story? It's such a powerful story. We've talked about it before, but for all my listeners out there, I want to hear, like, what was your journey to conceiving your brand?
Yes, it's always great to reflect on the journey. So actually, the idea for Myavana came when I was in college in my dorm room trying to figure out my hair. And I was going natural. Okay. And really discovering my natural hair for the first time. So I was using this curl pudding, but it was drying my hair out.
Okay.
And the jar said moisture, but I'm like, this is not,
something's going on.
Something else is happening. So my background's in computer science. And so to me, my natural thought process was, I need to figure out what variables and products affect how they react on your hair. Mm-hmm. And so I knocked on professors' doors to go into their lab space because I learned through my research, through microscopic analysis, you could actually see like the condition of your hair strands. Mm-hmm. And I knew that if I could, understand my hair a little bit more, I could understand back to the root of the science of hair and how to match that to the products that will actually work. So that was like my personal project that became Myavana.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is so incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the name. It's so unique and so beautiful.
It is. Thank you. Yes. So Myavana means my nirvana. Which is that perfect place of happiness and peace. Like, when you love your hair, that feeling you get when you look in the mirror?
Yes.
That's Myavana. That's the destination that we're guiding people to.
That we want to get to,
That we want to get to, right? Exactly. Yes, that's what we want to feel. And that's what we call being your best self. Uh-huh. And your hair is such a part of that, right? Because your hair is your crown. And what we learned through interviewing women about their hair and starting Myavana was they always had a personal story about what was going on in their life at the time.
Of course. Yeah, so that's so true.
Yeah. So one of my favorite quotes is, every hairstyle has a story. Mm-hmm. And if you look at your journey, you know what was going on in your life by how your hair was looking.
That's so true when you look back. And especially as a hairstylist and any hairstylists that are out there. Well, like probably any person really, but I know when I look back at the hairstyles that I've worn over the years, I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yes.
They do so we wanted stories.
They do. Yeah. So we wanted to pull that out because everyone's journey is so unique. Yeah. So it's my nirvana, and that's the personal journey that everyone's on.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, can you tell us a little bit about what that experience is using the program? Like walk us through that. Like what does that look like for somebody?
Exactly. So we invented a way where we could instantly analyze your hair strands and tell you which products are best to use. Now, the instant way is through a photo. So you go in the Myavana app, take a photo of your hair, and you tell us your hair goals and your hair challenges. And it's going to take all that data and match you to the products that are going to give you the best results. Now, I have to make a shameless plug that InnerSense is one of our top recommended products. That's how I knew about you and who you were when I ran into you at Ulta FLC.
Right.
I was like, oh, wait, InnerSense.
Right. We were kind of hanging out together, right? Because we saw each other at Ulta, and then we were at Texture versus Race.
Exactly,
and we are here now. So I'm like, it's destiny. I love it.
Exactly right. And I just love meeting the founders of the brands because from a data standpoint, being able to make the perfect match for your hair is really the game-changing thing that we're bringing to the market, which eliminates the trial and error. But understanding what went into the product, how it's formulated, and all that, you all have your personal stories of how you brought your products to market too. So that's the way that you can use Myavana through our app. And then we're also integrating across the whole retail industry. So we are live on Ulta.
Oh,
if you go on Ulta.com or in the app,
incredible.
yeah, you can use Myavana there as well. So now when you shop for hair products, Myavana will be the new way.
Oh, that's incredible. That's so amazing. Well, you know, I mean, hair obviously is deeply, deeply personal for sure.
Yes.
And we are taking this leap to technology.
Yes.
And so talk a little bit about that, like maybe the skepticism in AI. And
yes.
I mean, I have to say, I'm so, I kind of love AI, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And I'm like, should I be loving AI?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And you're such a forerunner. And I'm so impressed with like how you're like on the cutting edge of all this.
Yes,
so
we are.
Talk to me. You are an expert. I want to hear the things. I want to hear, you know, how are people feeling about it? Like on both sides.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I like to say we're on the good side of AI.
Okay.
Because AI, the impact of it really is based on the developers, the people who are programming it. What can you program the computer to do? It can do a number of things, for better or for worse, honestly. But we're on the good side of AI, which means that personalization is a form of AI because of the automation ability. So I knew that there's no way that I can physically analyze 3 billion people's hair strands, right? That's the number of people on this planet, right? Yeah. I can't physically do that myself. No. But a computer can. Right? So Myavana can. If you came to our app right now, we have the automated ability to analyze your hair through machine learning and image recognition. So
and it probably only gets smarter and smarter.
It gets smarter and smarter. That was another number 2 benefit of AI. It gets smarter and smarter.
I didn't mean to get ahead of myself there, but I'm like,
exactly. And so I'm of the philosophy that technology should improve your life.
Yes.
Right? And so the number of improvements that AI brings is unmatched. It is going to change the way we live. And so I understand the skepticism. I personally do. But I think that we have to learn how to use AI for good while people are tackling the downsides of it. Because if not, you're going to miss out on the ability to improve your life, automate your life, work smarter and not harder. Right? I mean, I'll give you another pro tip. I mean, there are AI tools where you can have like digital tools, digital employees, like who can help you scale if you're at capacity in growing your business, right? And so I encourage people to figure out how you want to use it, right? Do you want to use it to grow your own business?
Right.
Do you want to? So we're now positioning Myavana as your AI hair care assistant.
Nice.
So just like you talk to Siri, you talk to Alexa, you can talk to Myavana about your hair.
Oh, that's incredible.
And so I say that, you know, I've been thinking about, should I stop using the term AI where people are kind of in this limbo?
Are you feeling like you're getting a...
Yes, because, people are still confused sometimes.
Okay.
And I get it because you're hearing all kinds of things, on the internet, right? But so that's why we want to personalize Myavana. Just think of her as your hair assistant, care assistant, right? And take it there. But think about how AI can be your assistant in life.
Absolutely.
It can help make things a lot easier.
Oh, for sure. I use it a lot to make my life a lot easier. Can you tell us a personal story of somebody that's used your technology that has seen a difference in their hair? Or tell me, I'd love to hear some success stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have several testimonials. I think one of our customers, Hazel, she's used Myavana for herself and her daughters, and her aha moment was how their hair is all different. So the products that she used for her hair is different from what she used for her daughter's hair. But Myavana can give you this simple regimen for each person.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking out that frustration, because, you know, shout out to the moms, you know, we have double duty sometimes. We have triple duty. I have twins.
Oh,
so and their hair is different.
That about
I
you. How
know,
old are
that's
your
my fun
twins?
fact. I'm a twin mom.
Oh, how
I
old
have
are
a
they?
boy and a girl. They're 5. They'll be 5 next week.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
So yes,
Yeah.
but hair duty, moms, you all know, right? Especially the little ones, it's hard to get them to stay still.
Oh my goodness, it is.
So her testimonial was about how I just eliminate the frustration, tell me exactly what I need to do and what I need. And then also for those who have hair damage. You know, a lot of women try to figure out, like, is it repairable? Do I need to cut it? Do I need to? So it really kind of helped in navigating that process, because sometimes you're not ready for a cut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's some techniques you can do, right, that can bring that definition while the damage is like slowly growing, and you can do it comfortably. So it's about meeting people where they are too.
Did you ever see yourself as an expert in hair? I mean, like when you think back to yourself prior to your own like hair journey, like did you, I'm wondering, I don't think you got into it thinking like, this is the industry that I'm going for. This is what I want to land. Like, I don't know. Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, that's such a great question, because actually in high school I considered becoming a hairstylist.
Oh, you did? Okay, so there was
there
was a little sparkle there then.
Yes, I loved doing my hair. I have 2 younger sisters. I loved doing their hair. And I loved hair color.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, do I want to get into this? But honestly, technology was more of my calling. So I kind of went on the other side of the spectrum, but I always wanted a way to blend both worlds together. So I did not see myself becoming a pioneer for beauty technology. But now I'm like, wow, this is like the perfect blend of who I am and what I wanted to become. So now I'm like, but I would say now I'm leaning more into the hair.
All right, now
it's like, okay, now the tech is built. Exactly. I'm like, okay, let me get into that. It is, yeah. So I'm like,
so
I'm
now
loving
do you think
being
you might
here.
go to cosmetology school now?
Listen, it might pretty soon. I love being here. And actually, we did start a Myavana certified course.
Did you?
For professionals, yes.
To like use how to use it, the tool and everything.
And teaching them the science of healthy hair care.
Okay.
Because now every person, for your client, you can give them a unique hair ID that gives them their own personal hair profile. So what does it look like to bring infused technology with cosmetology, but also with our pros? A lot of them have their own like trichology courses and their own. I'm like, I might enroll in a few of these.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah, I could see that for you for sure. Well, I mean, that is kind of what my next question was. So like, what's next for Myavana? Any new exciting features on the horizon?
Yes.
I know we're trying to partner.
Exactly.
For sure. Like that's, I mean, what do you have coming next?
Well, yes. So our salons is our next big frontier, because our new hair scopes are rolling out. So it's the first AI-powered hair scope.
Okay.
So stylists can offer the service to their clients, doing a hair and scalp analysis and giving your clients a personalized healthy hair care plan.
Amazing.
And that will track their journey. You can recommend products, but also your salon services. And you can actually show your clients what's going on with their hair, what it needs, and it just customizes the whole experience. And so we're calling that the care experience, to make the salon, again, more personalized, but it also powers your retail. So think about being able to have a personalized retail engine where you're earning additional revenue because you can sell the products that you're recommending as well and using too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's where InterSense does come in, because I'm like, wait, so we can we've been recommending products to consumers, but now we can recommend products through the salon channel as well. So that's our next big step. That's why we're here at Vagaro. We're launching a case study with Vagaro.
Great.
So we'll have salons on the Vagaro platform in this case study, and showing how Myavana helps you grow your salon business. And then integrating Myavana across the whole retail landscape. So thinking about, even for your website, what does it look like to have Myavana as your AI assistant now?
And you'll probably see it, like you said, like on Ulta.
Exactly.
So people will
Everywhere
probably
you
start
shop,
seeing it
you'll
pop
start
up wherever
seeing
you're
Myavana.
seeing you're shopping hair care. That's
Exactly.
amazing. Wow. That's so as a female leader on the cutting edge of things, like what advice would you have for people in the beauty industry or the technology industry or any woman kind of wanting to forge ahead? Like what pitfalls have you seen, or maybe not necessarily talk so much about the pitfalls, but what areas have you seen where you've had to kind of grow through, or, what advice would you give somebody?
The main thing I would say is you have to be bold.
Yes.
And you have to have the courage to get up again every day. It's a daily battle. It is.
Amen.
It is.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
As an entrepreneur,
right?
It is. But I would say you have to have courage every day. And it doesn't matter what the previous day was like. Every day is a new day. Yeah. And you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. Right? So you just have to be bold. And I just really encourage women, be bold. And I'm preaching to myself because
of course we always preach to ourselves. That's because
I am a very shy and introverted person.
Well, I was going to say you're really you have such a beautiful presence about you, but you're definitely not like, I wouldn't look at you as like a loud person or whatever. So when you're saying be bold, I would imagine that you probably do have to like.
You have to bring it out. You have to bring it out sometimes, yes. And I would just say be intentional, right? Because everyone's personality is different, but be intentional. So I'm intentional about who I want to connect with here, right? Yeah. So I have to be bold and make sure I do that and don't get shy in the moment or just, talk
yourself out of it.
Exactly. Like sometimes, you can get anxious, right? Sometimes you can get, again, you're facing the the butterflies that come sometimes, right? But just be bold, step into your moments.
I love that.
And you have to make that choice every single day.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Yeah, be bold. I'm gonna take that for myself too because I definitely could use that at times.
Yes,
so thank you for that, Candace. I appreciate it.
Of course.
What else do we need to know as we're wrapping up here? I want to just make sure that we know where to find you, or if there's anything else that we didn't cover that you think our listeners would be interested in. I just want to make sure that we're getting it all here.
Of course, yes. Well, download Myavana.
Okay.
So I'm encouraging everyone, download the app because we're making it a destination that can pour back into you. Okay. So think about, again, your personal journey, right? You can tell us everything about your hair, your life, what's going on, and I'm designing more delightful moments along the journey. We have a hair diary. Oh. So when you log in your hair diary, you make it a boost. You make it a hype song. You might get, some encouragement. Fun. You might get some affirmations in addition to the daily hair maintenance, because in this world today, especially today, there's so much that's going on, and sometimes you just need a positivity, a place of positivity,
Absolutely.
So we're making our app that place. We have amazing content in the lab with Myavana, healthy hair care guidance. We look forward to integrating more of InnerSense content, and that's going to be the new thing. So I'm giving you all the heads up. Yay. And like I said, Myavana is your new AI hair care assistant.
I love that. That's amazing. Well, you mentioned affirmations, and that is one of my favorite things because, as you know, on the back of every one of my bottles, what we call an inner flexion is right there at the top of the bottle. And it's just a very positive daily affirmation, or whenever you're interacting with our packaging, you can take a look at it. And my hope is that it would uplift somebody and just make them feel maybe a little bit better about themselves. And along with that, I have my ingredient oracle cards here sitting in front of me, and I've written all these. I'm the author of all the cards.
Oh, wow.
And they have, each one has an ingredient, and they're all ingredients that we use in our InnerSense products.
Amazing.
And so I would love to give you a gift today if you would like to pick one and let us know how and if it resonates with you.
I love that you do this. Okay. I'm going to
take that one. Okay, what does it say?
Wow, I am peaceful and present in this moment. Yes.
Nice. And then there's more on the other side.
Wow, sunflower. Okay, so
the ingredient is what?
Sunflower.
Okay.
Sunflower, which is my favorite flower, actually. And it says, have your spirits been down? Sunflowers help us remember to put our faces towards the sun, letting the powerful energy wash over us. This is a sign of good fortune. You are on the right path and things are going your way. You have much to be grateful for. Wow. Find sunflower seed oil, an inner peace whipped cream texturizer.
Yes.
That was so for me in this moment. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
Love it.
I love that.
So
I love that
welcome.
you do this. Wow.
Well, Candace, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your your time. It feels like this was long overdue, but very serendipitous that you were here.
Exactly.
I feel like we wasted no time.
Exactly.
And this was
we're doing
so
this.
good. And to my dear, dear listeners, thank you so much for being here with us. I hope you enjoyed this very inspiring story of this beautiful woman that is a forerunner in the hair, beauty, technology industry.
Yes.
And please go look for her, download the Myavana app. And until next time, always trust your inner sense. Hi, friends. So this episode is super exciting because this is somebody that is a true icon in the beauty industry. Today, I'm joined by Paul Joseph Marzioli, a legendary hairstylist and one of the founding directors of the world-renowned hair brand Toni and Guy. With a career that has spanned decades, Paul Joseph has witnessed and shaped the evolution of modern hairdressing. In our conversation, we step back in time to explore what the craft of hairdressing was like in the 1970s, a pivotal era of creativity and transformation in our industry. Paul Joseph also shares the remarkable story of when Toni and Guy first arrived in the United States, bringing with it not just a salon brand, but a movement that forever changed the landscape of professional beauty. This conversation is about artistry, history, and the roots of a brand that continues to inspire generations of stylists across the globe. I'm super, super excited for you to meet this icon. I enjoyed my conversation with him so, so much. All right. Well, welcome, you guys. I'm Joanne Starkman. Thanks for coming back and joining me at Trust Your Inner Sense podcast. We are here at Vagaro 2025 Iconic up in the Napa Valley, and I am here with this amazing man that I just bumped into that I thought it would be so interesting to have a conversation with. This is Paul Joseph. He's the founding director of Toni and Guy USA.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to dive in. Is there... Give us more. So tell me everything. Just like, let's start from the very beginning. So you're a stylist.
I'm a hairdresser by trade.
For how long?
I've been doing this since I was a kid, 1973.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm still alive.
And that was in Hawaii. You
actually started in Southern California.
Where in Southern California?
I was working in a little town called San Juan Capistrano.
Okay. Beautiful.
Which was that whole area in the 70s began to develop into, there were two, actually three, was the from Malibu down to Newport Beach, and that whole became a thing of hot hairdressers. Then you blasted right across into the city, which was LA hairdressers, Hollywood hairdressers, Beverly Hills hairdressers. And so some of the greatest names when I was a kid came out of those areas.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And, provoked hairdressing for me. When I was a kid, I didn't think men did hair.
Well, who were some of your role models? Like, who can you look back and say, that was somebody? I mean, I'm saying prior to Toni and Guy, because obviously that changed the trajectory of your career, but who could you look back and say was maybe somebody that was really, that you looked up to?
Well, there was a couple that were really prominent.
Yes.
And everybody knows the name Vito Sassoon.
Of course, absolutely.
And then there was another gentleman I got to work with because I had my salon moved from West Coast, California. I went to Hawaii in search of a new adventure. So I ended up working there all over the island and then having my own salon on the windward side of the island, standing at an airport waiting for my daughter from another marriage to come. And this gentleman was waiting for his son coming from New York. And I knew who it was. And it was a guy called Paul Mitchell. Mm-hmm. And so Paul Mitchell was a big name amongst people who had trained with Vito Sassoon, but he had softer approach to hairdressing, to where he was taking geometrical shapes and making them a little bit softer. Not as much as when I discovered Toni and Guy, who were called the softies in London, England. If you mention the name Toni and Guy, they were not only precision hairdressers, but they were called the softie hairdressers because they specialize in hairdressing. Whereas Sassoon, if you have the cut, you have the style.
Right.
Toni and Guy said, not only do you have the cut, but can you take that same cut and do it 5 different ways? A little bit different emphasis on salon work because we make our money on making sure that people can get versatility out of their work, and also they can get longevity out of a precision cut, but also a texturized cut or personalized cut for the individual.
Right. Well, so then here you are, you moved from the Southern California area to, did you actually meet Paul Mitchell in the airport? And did you work with him?
Yes, we worked together for a short time, and unfortunately...
In Hawaii then?
In Hawaii.
Okay.
He had just since closed the company called Mod Crippers, was our hair salon, and he did a very risque... I can't tell you viewers, it's rated X, but for a certain magazine, and it cost him his career because he used to be the main platform artist in his team for Lean Curtis back in the day. We were very conservative. So he kind of was a nuanced hairdresser, kind of was breaking provocative barriers.
A little bit of a scandal back then.
A little bit of scandals, and I think the 80s and early 70s was a lot of, well, let's just say the hairdressing world was a really party culture that got a little bit out of hand.
I kind of came on the late end of that. I actually work for Helene Curtis myself, so I know exactly what you mean. And I think that was kind of the hairdressing world that a little bit on the late end of it, but I was exposed to it. And I think that was kind of part of the reason why I wanted to go more the wellness route. Of course, I had like a very personal reason around it, but I do think cutting and styling and education and being able to really back your work up that's something that is really valuable, and something that I hold near and dear to my heart is just the education. And I know people like Paul Mitchell and Vidal Sassoon and everybody. I mean, they were really the
barrage of great names in there. But
yes.
I made a choice because I don't know if you ever heard this concept, but back in the day I'd gone through all the product companies where they hit the industry because we were using nothing. Then someone came up with a stress test, and then they started talking about conditioning products. That would be kind of the Ripken area. And then it moved into a company called Jeramac, and that was revolutionary in Southern California because of nucleic acids. And then you moved into Nexus, which was Jerry Redding, who was a guru amongst chemistry and very down-to-earth approach. And then it moved into some of the biggest things we go through. And then we had the designer wars in the 80s. But my interpretation of what was going on was a lot of product sales, not enough education. So if you are a hairdresser striving to take your career to the next level from an educational point of view, as well as a financial point of view, the more educated one feels, gives more confidence.
Absolutely.
And striving for excellence is the mantra versus striving for perfection. And because we're such high-strung people, very artistic people, we have probably a lot of idiosyncrasies and insecurities that our ego is wrapped up in how that process works out in our individual lives. So for me, I was a Sebastian Artistic Center. That was a big deal in the 70s. But one thing was lacking. They did all these crazy shows. Had the cellophane product and the irons to pump synthetic or temporary color into the hair, and a few products, and they became this artistic team. Everybody looked up. Jerry Crescenza was the name. She was a brilliant hairdresser. But then sometimes you got to look behind who was the inspiration for, say, like a Sebastian. And I kind of discovered they were going to London and to Paris and Italy looking for all the things to put in their creativity program that would make them seem head and shoulders over what was going on in America, because there was a lot starting to break open. So one thing I noticed at an early age, Vito Sassoon was like Elvis Presley. He broke in to the hair industry and made precision haircutting, which interrupted shampoo sets and women coming in once a week. And your design was what you wore from the actual cut. So it brought it to another evolution. But at the same time, it killed an industry. It killed the woman. Today, women don't come in and get their hair set
Every week, no.
And that's gone. You know,
Yes.
I just seen a new blow dry bar open up and down from my shop, and I thought, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
to this day, they've been open 3 months, and hardly anybody is going in there. I feel sorry. Beautiful salon, great concept, but women go to more technical type of a service, in my opinion. There are still people that get their hair done every week, but mainly it's now for execution of specialized services. So when you think about specialized service, you think of Sassoon, because that's what he brought to the table. Where Sassoon didn't go, which I find it surprising, even up to today, they're still teaching the methodology, is they didn't break into how can I take one haircut and do it 4 different ways.
Right.
Now, what value is that? Well, that's a big deal. Well, if I could show my client more versatility in a price of a haircut, and she can do at least 3 of those, how much of a hero am I going to look to? How much is my art thing on her head, her hair
Absolutely.
fashion, going to be kind of a statement in the community? And if that's happening in the footprint in which I'm in, how can I not build a bigger and better business? So that was the thrust. So when I met Toni and Guy, it was like the Beatles came.
Right.
We just had Elvis Presley break rock and roll, and everybody's into rock and roll. Come on, saturated. Then all of a sudden, these 4 brothers, humble in their spirit, come on stage, and they're doing hair with braids and basket weaves, and they're doing all this eccentric hair.
And I'm learning there's 4 of them.
Yes, there were 4
I
of them.
didn't realize there were 4 of them. That's
Right.
something new to me right now in this moment. I just thought there were 2.
No, there was
So-
Toni,
Okay.
and there's actually going to show a film here tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
Kind
I
of,
can't wait to see it.
it's a 5-minute clip of 50 to 60 years of an evolution. But there was Toni, Guy, Bruno, and Anthony.
Okay.
Now, although I had a little sidetrack, probably your audience does know if you do anything with Tony. There was a 5th brother who had a deformed arm, so he couldn't be a hairdresser, but he hung around and wanted to be a part of his brothers. And that was a sad
Oh,
part.
that's so
But they took care of him.
sweet. Oh.
And so, unfortunately, today, Toni has passed, Guy has passed, and Andre, who was a brother, passed. But the 2 gentlemen who made Toni and Guy famous wasn't Toni and Guy, it was Bruno. And from Bruno came the ideas, the evolution. Bruno was the first one to do a book in our
Okay.
company. And Toni, his brother, said, that's never going to make it. Sold out. So he paid for it himself because his brothers had believed, so he said, I'll put my own money on it. They started believing. Then Bruno said, I'm going to do hair cuts and blow dries on video. They said, that'll never work. So Bruno, again, revolutionary that for his company and for the business. Then he says, I want to demonstrate. What happened was he was in a hair show. And he came in last.
Oh,
And he was so
no.
mad. He says, I'm never going to do another hair show. I'm going to teach people how to do hair. So then comes Anthony, who's like 13, 14, 15. Now he's working at the salon. And at 16 years old, he's cutting hair better than Anthony. Anthony's cutting better hair than Toni, our Guy, and even Bruno. No one taught him. It was the evolution of absorption through working in a family business. He became so geniusly artistic and pronounced in his techniques. He has driven the hairdressing of Toni and Guy to the level in the 70s and 80s that was second to none. There was big names in fantasy hair. I don't know if you know these names. Some hairdressers who are as old as me would know. Would be like people like Robert Labetta, Trevor Sorby.
Of course.
You would the people from Scotland, Russ and his wife. Phenomenal hairdressers with detail and panache in hairdressing. So and then you had Sebastian, and then you had Aveda, and then you had, I'm trying to think of the other big company, Matrix. I mean, it was like a designer war out there.
Right.
Then here comes Toni and Guy with our teeny little hair care product line, but our
They
education.
had the product at the time.
We had a few.
Okay.
We had colored gels.
Okay.
We had the best mousse and mousse shampoo in the world because we went after chemistry that would help our hairdressing be from very commercial to editorial to doing surrealism hair. And in surrealism hair, you got to be careful because it can be so abstract that, you want it to be complementary to the model or the
Yes.
human being you put, and you want the balance, but you want to know how the real hair and where does the fake hair end, because we were able to mix it. And so it was quite astounding to do that on stage and in person for people, and that began to carry on the show. And so I got a tape and a book from Toni and Guy, and it was so head and shoulders over every educational thing that was going on in the market. And so I wanted more education. I'm a salon owner. All I get is people coming in try to sell me something. Sell me something that makes me a better person. Sell me something that makes me feel confident. Sell me something that makes me feel like I'm growing and that I am on the cusp of success in my business. And Toni and Guy was that projectile point of focus for me that I believed in. And so I invaded their world, they invaded the Americas, and I proved working with them by going all over the United States by myself, going into a city like Portland, Oregon, LA, Phoenix, Denver, just some of the cities I can think of, New Orleans, and picking the venues, going out to the hairdresser, selling the tickets, having visuals of the show, taking it to the press, and for some reason, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just be really clear. I'm promoting something I don't know. My background to promotion and shows, I was a wannabe rock and roll, wannabe singer as a kid. So a lot of my production ideas for them came because of that trajectory when I was going through the music world, which is a very difficult to navigate because everybody wants to be a famous singer.
And so then did you stepped out from behind the chair then and you stopped doing hair?
No,
just to,
I actually stepped out of the music business and stepped into the hair and never looked back.
Okay, so did you ever cut hair then? Or
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, so you did, okay.
I'm a hairdresser by trade,
Yeah.
and I can still do it. But
I mean, when you met them and then you
Yeah, I was a
decided you
hairdresser.
wanted to start producing,
Yes.
were you doing both of those things
Yes.
simultaneously?
Yes.
Or yeah,
yes,
okay.
so I was cutting hair when I wasn't traveling, building a little clientele. So I had built a clientele in California. I built a clientele in Hawaii. I built a clientele in Oregon. Left there, went to Dallas, Texas, and built another clientele. At the same time, we were traveling all over the world from this experience.
So you've had a very, very successful career with Toni and Guy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So tell me like what you're doing today, because now I know your son's in the business.
My sons are in the business.
And you guys have
And just when I think that I'm
academies
out of shows and doing on the stage work, they pull me back in again.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
It's a little bit, it's actually fun, and actually, that's another one of my sons. So I have 6 sons,
You have 6 sons.
and I have 4 daughters.
Oh, wonderful.
That's why I had to work so hard.
Wow, I guess so.
You know, you can talk about the shows and meeting people, but I was living from my hand to my mouth and taking care of a big family. So work was something you didn't get to choose, you had to do.
Absolutely.
And so finding opportunity, I think, is probably, it was just destiny that I met Toni and Guy at the crossroads of my career, because I had my own salon. I was searching for education, and a friend of mine from LA sent me a book and a video called Toni and Guy. And I said, I don't know who these people are. I've got to meet them.
And so what would be like your words of wisdom, or what are some of the things that you share with your children as far as like either whether it be getting into the beauty industry or finding your passion? I mean, obviously you've had a very passionate career.
Right.
Like what advice do you give people, like when you're coaching people or talking to people, and what types of things do you say that's going to inspire somebody to follow their passion?
Well, I think, first of all, one has to have a vision of what that is. Second of all, one has a vision. Do they really love that vision? Then if you really love it, I think you have to have a plan. And then you have to be committed to the plan, but slightly pragmatic.
Okay. Tell me more about the pragmatic part.
Pragmatic is you embrace a plan which is step by step by step. You have A, then you have maybe 4 points of A. B, those 4 points. Maybe now you're in step B, and the kind of the concept goes sideways. Well, a pragmatic person is going to say, maybe I should shift to the side. I don't want to go backwards, but maybe I should shift to the side and change maybe point B, section 3, and maybe approach it this way, because you have to be sensitive to the footprint in which you're in, whether that be a city, a state, or a country.
So that sounds like maybe a little bit of flexibility is kind of what you're saying?
Totally being pragmatic is flexibility. In other words, you're not so dogmatic. Dogmatic means you cannot be moved like a bulldog, because sometimes that can stop you from missed opportunities. Point in class. My family thought I was a nut job because I sold my salon stock to my partner for $5. Left Hawaii, where I was dressing hair, which You left Hawaii? Are
Yeah.
you crazy? What about the little umbrella drinks and the sandy beaches and the palm? I had a vision.
Yeah.
I had a purpose. With no contact and a handshake, I moved 4 kids and my wife and me to the mainland to take on this. Don't know what it's going to be, but I knew that this thing called Toni and Guy was going to be the next projectile in the, and I use that word a lot, sorry folks, but it's true. Your trajectory is really what you stay on. You don't let anybody, negative energy, bad experiences, you stay on task for your vision, and because you're passionate, you will succeed. Sometimes we're not tough enough, or we're too victimized in our thinking to think, oh, that's not for me. We give up and we die. I've seen people come so close to their vision, it's like a piece of paper this thin. If they had a broke through, they would be having a different song to sing today.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And clearly you're talking about your vision and, you know, all the things that you've done. So what's the next chapter for you?
I think the next chapter for me is I'm leading about 20 people in my own venue, my own salon, partners with my older son, who my goal is to pass that on with his success story with him. And, you know, salon life, all you out there who are in salons and you're taking on systematic systems and, you know, computer systems to embrace your business, we still don't want to forget the human factor of that business because both are in play. So I've always been part of, I can. I've always been to break what is not happening. I've used to hate the term think outside the box. I know you probably heard that too. It kind of makes you sick. Really? Really? How about something new? Well, I started saying, I think you should burn the box you're in and look at a whole new way to approach the thing you say you want most.
That's amazing. That
And
sounds like a lot of passion.
Well, passion drove me to be able to realize I could see beyond my own ability for a bigger possibility. And working with a person called Bruno Mascolo, who was probably the most, of all the men I mentioned, all the greatness of hair, Bruno was a Renaissance man.
Amazing.
He could see the end of the vision from the beginning. And this is a true story. I had another partner called James Morrison. He's a really big name in the industry and well. And right now I'm traveling for another company. It started from Bruno's wife, another hair product line. You're familiar with Bedhead, right?
Yes.
Bedhead was created by the Toni and Guy leadership, which was primarily Bruno Mascolo's wife, Kyra.
Okay.
Well, she's just launched another line in the industry. You'll probably hear the name. You hairdressers out there are probably starting to see called Freaking Genius.
Okay.
Here's a woman who was the catalyst of what we had as chemistry to back up our hairstyling. She's back.
Amazing.
After almost 20 years, because they sold TG in 2009, Bedhead. And the people who took it on, to be honest, they ruined it.
Yeah.
Because you have to keep the culture from the vision and the passion. And the culture is the people. And I don't think they understood
the truth. It's so true.
And-
for 20 years,
Yes.
having had my own brand, I
Yes.
always say it's about the people.
It's
for sure.
always about
it's
the
always
people.
about the people. for
Especially in
sure.
this industry.
Absolutely.
You never know who you're talking to.
No, you don't. Absolutely.
And you don't burn any bridges.
For sure not.
I can say,
Yeah.
to the best of my knowledge and my memory, then, you know, I'm old enough to forget things, but I haven't forgot one thing. I never burned a bridge, nor left a salon moving on in my career to do something better, that I didn't keep transparency and integrity and authenticity with the owner or manager or company I was involved with. I always left the right way, and never taking anything from their company that had been my platform with me, but
Yeah.
my own plan, my own dream, and my own self.
That's amazing. Well, you've been such a gift for me today to be able to interview you
Well, thank you
and
very
kinda
much.
talk a little bit about years gone by
Yes.
and the past industry,
Right.
beauty industry that we all love so much, and how it's evolved. But I have a gift for you. And
Okay.
so if you're interested, I would love to share with you one of these are what I call my ingredient oracle cards.
Oh, wow.
And they all have different ingredients on them, and
Okay.
they're all ingredients that we use in our products.
Okay.
And there's a very, very special message here for you.
Okay.
And I wrote all the messages. And so I
Oh,
would love
wow.
you to take one and see if it resonates with you.
Okay, wow, this is very scary, but cool.
Oh my goodness, this one seems to be a theme today. I know exactly what one that is and what it says. Would you mind, do you want to read it or you want me to read it for you?
I'll try to read it. Let's see. Pumpkin seed oil. Have you been feeling out of balance? Have you been working too hard and pushing yourself beyond your own limit? You pull this card as a reminder to slow down, adapt a more leisurely pace. We all have moments in life where there seems to be too much work and not enough time to get it all done. Take a deep breath and reprioritize, making sure that you put yourself at the top of the list. You will find that when you take care of yourself first, you will bring more harmony and ease into your life. I believe that.
How does that resonate with you? Are you working too hard these days?
I have been, but I didn't get to the point that all that evolution that we kind of thumbed out. So my second oldest son is president with Toni and Guy today.
Congratulations.
Restarting the whole company on a new trajectory.
Wonderful.
Zach Mascolo, who's the son of Guy Mascolo, will be on stage here at your show. I will be comparing with them today.
Wonderful.
So you can already see second generation.
Absolutely.
The best is yet to come for all of us.
Yes.
And I think this makes a
I
point.
believe that. Yeah.
Let's stop a little bit and smell the roses.
Right.
And take a break and go, hey, we really got a good thing going in the midst of sometimes it looks like it's incomprehensible, unattainable. And do I really have a part of this purpose going forward? Yes, you do.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and to my listeners, we'll have all the show notes where you guys can connect. And I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time.
It's been such a joy.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, hello, friends. I'm super excited for this conversation. I am thrilled to introduce this powerhouse of a woman. Welcome, Shay. She is the founder of Boss Up Braiding Studio. She's a master braider, a global educator, a salon owner, and the reigning Miss Orlando Corporate America. Shay's journey is one of resilience, artistry, and vision, building her career strand by strand into a thriving brand and community. In our conversation, we dive into what it truly took for her to reach this level of success. The story behind her inspiring title of Miss Orlando Corporate America and how she continues to forge bold new pathways in the beauty industry. From her salon to her global education platform, Shay is not only elevating the art of braiding, but also redefining what it means to be a leader, entrepreneur, and role model. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this conversation. I did. Welcome, friends. I'm Joanne Starkman. This is your Trust Your Inner Sense podcast, and we are here at Vagaro Iconic 2025 in Napa, and I have the true pleasure to meet with this beautiful woman, Shay. Her business is called Boss Up Braids, and she's out of Orlando, Florida, and I can't wait for you to meet her. Welcome, Shay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shay Edwards out of Orlando, Florida, owner of Boss Up Braiding Hair Salon.
Yeah, how long have you been a stylist? Tell me about the road to styling or doing hair.
Yes, I've been doing hair my entire life, but professionally about 22 years now.
Okay, amazing. And I know that you have a passion for education.
I do.
Can we talk a little bit about that right now? I mean, I saw some photos. Your husband was so kind to share. I told him he's the hype husband. So I was talking with her husband earlier, and I, couldn't help but want to interview you after talking with him, all the amazing things that you do. So talk a little bit about education. Well, first talk about braiding. Let's talk about braiding. Like, is that your passion? Do you do other things in the salon?
Yes, absolutely. So I do love braiding. Braiding is my niche. It's my go-to thing. I do a lot of other things as well, but my passion is braiding hair, just creating different looks. I'm very big on just artistic expression through hair, and so I get to be super creative with braiding, adding in extensions or just doing natural styles. I love it all.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love how even from year to year, and I'd love to hear from you, like the trends as far as braiding, because even as I was sitting talking with your husband, I just know that like the braiding, certain trends are like the bigger braids, the smaller braids, the more the patterns, and like you said, the colors and the styles. And tell me about that. Like, what has been your favorite maybe so far? And then maybe what's out of style, what's in style? Like, I'd love to hear more about that.
So braiding is something that has just come a long way throughout history. And so what I like to do is I like to find just different techniques from different places in the world. Everywhere has its own thing.
Okay.
And so finding just those things that just bring that expression from the different cultures and blending them all together into one. One of my most memorable moments with braiding was a competition that I did in 2024 where I did a style that incorporated about 8 different braid styles into one style to create one beautiful creative look.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so there was a
That sounds
competition,
amazing.
and the competition is a braiding competition in the state of Florida. And so the winner just wins rights to like the best braider in Florida for the year. And so I entered the competition, and I decided to utilize just different braid techniques that I loved. I love butterfly braids. It's a technique where you braid the hair, and then you do the chains, and then you pull them apart to make them like bigger and fluffy looking. And so I incorporated that, different feeding braiding techniques. So I did feed-in extensions. I did stitch braiding in there. I did some intricate styles in that same style, and I just mixed so many techniques. I did a rope braid. I did a 5-strand braid. I did another technique braid where it's like a fishtail or fishbone braid.
I love that.
So just mixing different things and just wrapping the hair different ways created a lot of just expression of the things that I've learned over the years and just mixing it all together to make something beautiful.
And did you have to go in there like with a specific design then? Like, did you have it all sketched out, or did you go in and you're just like, I'm in the moment, I'm doing this?
Some of it was preparation, but the competition is a 3-hour competition, and basically you go and you do your best braid work, and then the winner takes all. So it's like you win money, you win bragging rights, all those type of things. And so I kind of prepared, like I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but in the moment, of course, your creativity starts to shine. And so I went in with an idea in mind, and it just came out really beautiful, and I took first place.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Going back to like your love of braiding, and I think that this is kind of like, I'm thinking about myself, like when I was a kid, there wasn't like barely a day that didn't go by that I would beg my mom to braid my hair. Like, I loved having my hair braided. I would bring friends over on the schoolyard and put them on the bench in the schoolyard and braid their hair. For me, you're talking to somebody that I can feel the magic in braiding. Like, there's just something so powerful about it. Can you tell me, like, did your mom braid hair? Did you grow up braiding hair? Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm getting excited just talking about this. So I want to know.
Yeah, so the first memory I have of braiding was when I was about 3 years old.
Okay.
One of the earliest memories, I was at my grandmother's home, and my cousin was braiding her doll's hair. And I was like, how do you do that? And she showed me. And at 3 years old, I did my first like little plait on the hair, and they were like, whoa, she can do that, and she's only 3. And I just remember that. And then everything else was like a blur for many years. And then I remember just being in elementary school, and my aunt, she worked with the hospital, and they did newsletters every month for the children at the hospital, and she interviewed me, and she says, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I said, I want to be a hairdresser. I want to do hair. She's like, you want to be a cosmetologist? Absolutely. And that just went from me just practicing on dolls, my family members, just different things. So I kind of had a full-fledged business in high school, but I didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
I was doing everyone's hair. I remember getting recruited from my cheerleading squad. Like, I was a cheerleader in high school. And for our competition, I braided all of our hair, the same design for all of us, because I came in with my hair braided, and they're like, we want that for competition. And I did all my teammates' hair, and we went and crushed competition with our braids. And I just didn't understand at that time. But just looking back, it's always what I was meant to do. Yeah. People say, hey, does your hands hurt? They don't. I feel like I was created to do this. So when you say excitement, it brings me joy, because
it is.
I'm, after all these years, over 20 years, I still love it, and I'm fine.
Well, and it's fun because I mean, at least from my experience, and I have way less experience than you do. I mean, we're talking, and I'm a hairstylist, and I've been a hairstylist for a long, long time. So of course I would, do braids here and there and whatever. But it's just, for me, it's like there's something about like the connection and being able to do something. I mean, I'm not to your level, but to be able to do something for somebody that they can't do for themselves, that even their hairstylist might not be able to do it, because not everybody braids. So, I mean, it's kind of like, oh man, I wish I had more time to learn more. But I mean, it definitely brings me back to, there's just something in the connection of the hair and being able to create a style, and I don't know, that's beautiful. So thank you so much. That's brings me joy. So now, aside from all the braiding, I know you are definitely a entrepreneur, a boss lady. You've done competitions before, and I've heard that you are you've won second place, was it? An female entrepreneur.
Yes.
This is all from your husband. So I said that I was going to ask about these things. So I want to hear more about that competition, because what is it? Where is it at? Like, tell me all the things.
Yeah, so I'm so happy that I'm able to talk about it here on this platform. For any women that are entrepreneurs, there is a competition. It's national. It's called Miss Corporate America.
Okay.
There's one everywhere. So you can anyone can enter when we have open casting calls. And it's just basically showcasing and highlighting not just you being an entrepreneur, but how strong you are in your community, giving back, what your purpose is, and just doing what your purpose to do in life and in business, and how you're thriving. And so that was a beautiful competition. I decided to join because as I was looking at the winners, the people that were in it from the past, I noticed that I didn't see anyone from the beauty industry, like cosmetology specifically, ever be a part of it. And I was like, well, why aren't we there? Like, is there something different for us versus the doctors and lawyers and things like that, real estate agents? So I said, let me just tap my foot in here and see how we stand in the paint with everyone else. And surprisingly, I won a lot of awards. There were several different categories. I took home about 4 awards, which is the most awards that they had.
Wow.
And for one person at the competition that I was in. But ultimately, it just shows that as cosmetologists, we wear a lot of hats, and that's being shown to shine for us in our industry, what we do, because it's not just the creative side of it, it's also the business side of it as well.
Absolutely. I know I don't think people realize, when we're standing behind the chair, I think people just see the creativity of it. They don't see that we have to be HR, we have to be accounting, we have to be
the janitor. You're cleaning up too. Everything has to be spick and span.
Yeah.
So they're wearing so many hats. And the
For
manager,
sure.
the team builder, all these things. And so it goes, I feel like, unnoticed in certain arenas, and you get in rooms with people and, they're holding these PhDs and all these acronyms and letters after their name, and you're like, well, we do a lot too. So
Yeah.
how does that weigh out? But we have a lot of weight in just business in general. So
Absolutely.
that was amazing to just be a part of that and see that for us as cosmetologists.
Yeah. So are you continuing on in that competition, or what?
Yes.
What does that look like?
So I am the Orlando Miss Corporate America 2025. So I still have my crown and my sash. And so we're very active in the community, doing back to school fundraisers, going and speaking to young women, future entrepreneurs, doing giveaways, food drives, things like that in the community. Very big on philanthropy, community service. So we're doing a lot of work in the community that I'm in Orlando, Florida. And so each queen, they get their sash for their area, and then it's up to us to make an impact and shine, not just in our business, but also in our giving as well.
That's incredible. Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank
you.
A
big accomplishment. And then now you also told me that you're being featured in a book. Can you tell me more about that? That sounds really exciting.
It's so exciting. So I was contacted by the curator, Lee Clark, for anthology called Slaying USA. And so what she's doing is she's going around from city to city highlighting women entrepreneurs who are really taking charge in their field, in their areas. And so each area that she selects, she just finds the people that are doing just have the most impact in that area of their field. And then she's highlighting them in a book where we get to tell our story. and subsequently, hopefully, inspire and encourage other women to create their own story and curate their own story and be inspired by what we're writing in the book to work on their purpose. So she's been some of everywhere: Chicago, Atlanta, Naples, Vegas, and coming soon, Orlando, Florida. And that book will be out in December. So I'm super excited about it. I've already finished my chapter, so I'm just excited as we anticipate the full book coming together with all the other authors. We have about 20 authors in this one.
Wow.
So I'm so excited. All these women have such amazing stories, and I can't wait to see, and read more about their stories, because even we had a brunch a couple of weeks ago, and I was so inspired and encouraged. I felt like a fire was lit under me after listening to some of the stories that I heard. So I cannot wait to read the book.
Oh, that's so exciting. So can you give us like a little sneak peek, or like what's in your chapter, or more specifically, like to our listeners, is there something that you feel inspired by that you want to share, or something that, that our listeners might take hold of?
Absolutely. So in my chapter, I am dropping some gems about our work-life balance, because we're busy people.
Yes.
Salon professionals, beauty professionals, we balancing a lot, not just in the business, because we talked about we wear a lot of hats, but then we also have our personal life, and we have families, and so many of us are mothers and have children and different things like that. And so I'm definitely dropping some gems on how I'm able to create a very sustainable work-life balance. So please read that chapter, because you'll get some of those gems, and hopefully it'll help you in navigating how to balance your life out with that work and that fun personal time, because you need both.
Oh, absolutely. That's amazing. And so where can we find you, and where can we find the book? And
Absolutely. The book will be on Amazon and Kindle, so you'll be able to purchase or download it there.
And the name of it is?
It's going to be Slaying Orlando.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And so I'm on Instagram as Boss Up Braiding Studio.
Okay.
I'm also on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube as just Boss Up Braiding.
Okay.
So you'll easily find me, or you can just Google Boss Up Braiding and I will pop right up.
Okay,
So,
amazing. Well, I have a gift for you today, Shay. This is our my ingredient inspiration cards, and I authored all of these, and they're just something that is going to hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration for today. These are all the ingredients that we use in my products, and I hope you enjoy.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Let me pull a card.
sure.
I'm so
Yes.
excited. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes because I feel like I'm cheating if I look. Okay, this is the one right here.
Okay, amazing.
Yes,
What'd you get?
I got Manuka honey.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm a tea girl.
Oh.
And this is my favorite honey to use. This Manuka
I
honey.
love that.
So, yes.
So what does it say?
So the card says, "Hello, Queen Bee. You pulled this card as a nod to your royal side. Honey has so many wonderful qualities, as do you. Write down all your best attributes and reflect on them daily. This is a reminder that you are a dedicated and loyal person with lots of wonderful talents to share with the world. This is not a time to hold back. Step into the spotlight and make your sweetness known." Wow. This is spot on. Wow. Oh my goodness, that was awesome.
Oh, good. I'm so
Thank
glad.
you.
You are so welcome. Well, Shay, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. And to my dear, dear listeners, think about how your hair is, and how you connect with your hair. And do you have a braiding story, or know somebody that enjoys braids? And definitely check out Shay and see all her beautiful artwork and everything on Instagram and YouTube and all the places. And then in the meantime, thank you so much for being here, and remember, always trust your inner sense.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me, friends, on this amazing episode. I was such an honor to sit down with Candice, Paul Joseph, and Shay here at Vagaro Iconic 2025. Their stories remind us that this industry just isn't about hair. It's about passion, resilience, and the courage to follow a vision. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, please always trust your inner sense. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode, dear friends. I would be thrilled to hear which part resonated with you the most. Your reflections on today's topic and how it sparked action in your life mean a lot to me. Feel free to share your thoughts at podcasts@innersensebeauty.com or leave a review. I look forward to you coming back next week to explore another exciting topic together. If you'd like to dive deeper, be sure to check out the show notes for some valuable links. Until we meet again, take good care of yourself. Know that you are surrounded by love and always trust your inner sense. Wishing you all the best, friends.